Craft and the Cross is the name of a new book which traces the connection between early Christianity and Freemasonry, and it involves worship of the sun. Chris McClintock from Coleraine is the author, and he joins me on the line. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
So what's the book about?
Well, it's a study of ancient symbolism. As you've said there, it focuses on Freemasonry and Christianity, and it uncovers the origin of some of that symbolism and extreme antiquity.
So Christianity and Freemasonry, as proposed by you in the book, are both coming from a pagan source, essentially?
In a very, very distant sense, yes. In one sense, yes, but in another sense, no. It's all about the symbolism that man has used since the start of time to express his understanding of deity.
What sort of symbols are we talking about? Because I mean, it's quite frightening to people, I would imagine, to think that Christianity started off from some pagan symbols. If we start with Christianity, do you have any specifics there?
Example, St. Bridget. St. Bridget's probably one of the best known saints in Ireland. Mm-hmm. But there was a Celtic goddess, Bridget, and she was worshipped on the 1st of February at the pagan celebration of Amilk. And basically, the Christian version of her, St. Bridget, is just an extension of what had gone on in the past, and that is seen right through.
I see. And does that where the cross that St. Bridget's cross come from then? That was sort of not obviously included in the
solar symbol. It's actually a swastika to do with the turning of the seasons and from one season to the other, and it was woven from straw as basically a symbol of the harvest.
So a swastika in the old Indian sense, is that, and not right, in the Nazi sense?
Exactly, that's right.
How does it connect? How do these symbols connect to Freemasonry, or how are Freemasonry and Christianity connected?
Well, the symbolism is the same in both cases. They're based on similar concepts, and in Freemasonry we use symbols like the square and compasses to illustrate moral lessons. But the square, I believe, has a much older connotation than as a tool for the stonemason, and it has to do with the rising and setting points of the solstice sun, which is an exact right angle at this latitude.
Sounds like there's quite a lot of science involved in this.
Well, it does get a bit involved at times, yes.
Your thesis is that it all revolves around this 90-degree square,
Correct.
Chris, is that right?
That's right.
And what is it? How does that work out in? I know I don't want you to sort of. I have to feel that you have to explain the science to us. But how does that work out? What's the importance of the 90-degree square exactly?
Well, mankind has worshipped the cross for many thousands of years. In Ireland here, if you go to the National Museum, you'll see the Tadavnet sun disk, which is a gold disc about 4 inches square, which has basically a true X-shaped cross on it. You can go to Newgrange and you'll find the layout of the inner chamber as like cruciform. It almost looks like a cross lying flat. You can do the same at Lough Crew. Our history is absolutely chock-a-block full of references to right angles and squares and crosses at a very much more ancient time than Christianity.
You mentioned St. Columba a lot in the book. How does he fit into it?
Well, St. Columba stands at a very interesting place in history, and it is between the old and the new. Up until St. Columba's time, Ireland would have been pagan, and it would have worshipped the sun through the Druids and whatnot. And I believe that St. Columba was more Druid than Christian, that he came from that background, and he wedded the understanding of the true cross of the sun, which existed in Ireland here for, I believe, 2,000 years before that. He wedded it to Christianity, and the Celtic Church was born out of that.
So the Celtic Church understood the symbol of the cross in a different way, then?
That's my thesis, yes. Now, that's all it is at the moment until the world reads my book and says, yes, McClintock, you're right. So
St. Columba taking his mission to Scotland, how's that relevant?
Well, the exact line of latitude where the true cross is formed is actually the line of latitude of Edinburgh. And whenever St. Columba first went to Scotland, he lived in a cave on the Argyll coast for a while, and that cave is right on that line of latitude. And then later, the true cross emerged again, of the sun emerged again in the saltire, the Scottish flag. That's associated with a 7th or 8th century battle where the Scots and the Picts fought the Northumbrians, and Athelstan, the king of the Northumbrians, fell. And the position of that battle was a place called Athelstanford, and that's in East Lothian to the east of Edinburgh, and it's exactly on the line of latitude. And then we have, in the 12th century, we have King David I building Holyrood Abbey to house the Holy Rood, which was a piece of the True Cross. And that's exactly on the same line of latitude. So it's all to do with the latitude of the British Isles.
It's very interesting
It's very
stuff.
convoluted, and I'll never be able to explain it in 5 minutes.
Well, people will have to read the book, Chris. So where can they get it? Where can they get it if they want it?
Well, at the moment we're selling it online from our website. The website, we're trying to develop the website as a resource. We're trying to get, the concepts are hard to digest, which I can only apologise for, but it's the nature of the beast. So the website will give a bit of background information.
Go ahead. What's the website?
Sorry?
What's the website? Go ahead.
The website is just the name of the book, thecraftandthecross.com.
Brilliant. That's very easy to remember, thecraftandthecross.com. Chris, thank you very much indeed for taking the time to speak to me this morning. That's Chris McClintock there, Coleraine author.